Hi everyone, and welcome to the reading on Jupiter stationing direct in Taurus. And I'm going to speak for a minute about maybe why I'm adjusting the way that I'm doing these astrology readings. So what I've really noticed here in doing all the readings for this month, and specifically for my two recent ones with Venus entering Sagittarius and Jupiter stationing direct in Taurus, there is so much interplay with this energy, and it's definitely something that I've noticed throughout astrology, just how much planets and houses and the signs and how everything kind of just really plays very well off each other. And so I thought it would be better to maybe take each one of these, make them their own video. So Aries, you're gonna have your own video for January, and Taurus, all of you will have your own videos. And so kind of getting into this Jupiter stationing direct. So as of December 29th, Venus entered Sagittarius. Venus is the ruler of Taurus. Jupiter will station direct in Taurus. Venus is now in Sagittarius when this Jupiter stations direct happens. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. So there's so much connection between the two. So I literally have the ruler of Sagittarius stationing direct in Taurus, and I have the ruler of Taurus in Sagittarius. And so there's so much connection between these two energies. And so really getting into this Jupiter stationing direct. So Jupiter, expansion, growth. When you think about tarot, it's the Wheel of Fortune. It's things moving in the right direction. There are two benefic planets, and these are the two benefic planets that I'm talking about. We have Venus and we have Jupiter. So these two, anywhere that they touch, there is positivity connected to them. They will offset any kind of negative energy that shows up in a chart. And so Jupiter stationing direct is a really good thing. When Jupiter was retrograde, this indicated that any kind of expansion or growth opportunities were more internal than anything else. And so really understanding just what it means when Jupiter is internal versus an external. So you've been doing a lot of work on yourself. That's what this would indicate. And so growing internally as a person, maybe understanding all of these different components. We just had the full moon in Cancer. We just had Chiron stationing direct. And so what lessons did you learn from that? What kind of growth opportunities existed there? Because Jupiter, when it was retrograde, would have given you that kind of insight into, okay, these were the triggers that were identified. Now what do I learn from them? What do I do next? And so with Jupiter stationing direct in Taurus, Taurus is emphasizing the things that you value. And so during this entire process, did you kind of come to understand, I value this, not this. And so I want to expand and grow and move in this direction. And I really want to leave this energy behind. This doesn't serve me anymore. I no longer need it. And so this is really the energy of Jupiter stationing direct. When it stations direct, it is going to be in a sextile to Saturn and Pisces. There is so much going on with Saturn and Pisces. So Saturn and Pisces, this would be about creating some sort of plan connected to your dreams, your goals. And for everybody, it's going to be a little bit different. It's going to highlight different parts of your chart. So with Jupiter here in this energy, Jupiter's really kind of, just like we saw with Venus entering Sagittarius, Jupiter's kind of giving it, okay, let's grow this. Let's move this. Let's do something that's maybe a little bit more public with this. You don't need to be in this kind of retrograde energy where you're really internalizing how to grow this, how to expand this, what do you need to change within yourself. You're being given the opportunity to really take this to the next level, because Jupiter is the benefic planet, the great benefic planet. And I wrote down here, so when I was going through and creating all of this, I had this image of blowing a dandelion. So those dandelions, those I guess are weeds technically, but they have all of those little, oh my gosh, I'm not even going to be able to, you might want to just look it up. But I had an image of blowing on those dandelions and then everything kind of moving away, everything kind of taking flight and just expanding. You blow one of those things and it ends up all over the place. And so that's the image that I got there. Probably not the best description of it, but I think you get the point. Jupiter is also square to Pluto and Capricorn. So what's really happening here is that Pluto is at 29 degrees. And so Jupiter, so normally a square energy would create some sort of obstacle or challenge. Jupiter negates that. And so Pluto and Capricorn, there's something here that needs to change within the plans that you're developing. So when it comes to your goals, your dreams, things like that, what about here needs to change? Jupiter is highlighting this for you. Jupiter is giving you the opportunity to make those modifications, and those modifications are meant to expand. Take this in a new direction. Maybe it's not even take them in a new direction, but it's modify it in a way that gets you closer to your goals, that gives you that opportunity to move forward with that. And so it is going to affect every sign a little bit differently. So I'm going to get into all the signs here. Really, I just, again, want to highlight here, focus on your rising sign, your sun sign, and your moon sign, just to get that holistic picture of yourself. So I am going to start with Aries. So again, Aries rising, Aries sun, Aries moon. And so Jupiter here is in your 12th house, which also has Saturn in your 2nd and Pluto in your 4th. And so what this really comes down to is, at the time that Jupiter stationed direct, you were doing a lot of work on yourself. This would be 12th house of endings. What is it that you were trying to release? With Saturn in your 2nd house, did you have some sort of block when it came to money? When it came to just the way that you spend money? Maybe you have that kind of retail therapy bug. And is there something here that you're trying to change about that? Pluto in your 4th house, what needs to transform within your home? And so understanding how all of these different things play together. So what is it that you're trying to come up with from a long-term strategy standpoint, and how do your personal finances and your home connect to it? Really kind of highlight, okay, this is what matters the most. Leave the rest behind. That's that 12th energy. It's time to release it. And for Taurus and Taurus rising, so Jupiter is sitting in your 1st house. We have Saturn in your 3rd and Pluto in your 5th. And so Jupiter in your 1st house. So what is it about yourself that you're trying to grow? What is it that you want to do with yourself? With Saturn in your 3rd house, are you talking about some sort of strategy that you want to employ? Is there maybe something connected to your siblings, something with short distance travel? Is there something with your hobbies here? So what is it you're trying to do? Are you trying to expand? Maybe you have goals for your hobbies, and maybe you enjoy doing, I don't know, painting or something like that, and you want to take it more public. And so Pluto, transformation. So what do you want to transform within maybe your hobbies, maybe something with your children, something along those lines that also has this connection to communication, short distance travel, possibly even siblings. So kind of thinking along those lines. But the impact here is going to really highlight you. So what is it about you that really gains from these changes that you're making? So when it comes to your hobbies, do you feel more confident in yourself? Is your hobby fitness? And this would be, okay, I'm going to travel. I'm going to maybe become, I don't know, a yoga instructor or Orange Theory, whatever it is. And so that's your hobby. You're kind of turning it into something that you can feel proud of. That's the type of energy that is happening here for you, Taurus. And for Gemini and Gemini rising, so Jupiter is sitting in your 2nd house, personal finances. And it's really the things you value in general. Saturn is sitting in your 4th house. Pluto is sitting in your 6th house. And so what plans are you creating around your home? And how does that change your daily routines? Because there's something connected to, okay, I've got this plan. This is what I want to do with my home. But in order to do that, I need to modify this in my daily routines, and that's going to yield me maybe more personal income. Maybe you need to modify the way that you spend money, and maybe that modification is I need to scale back on these kind of things that I don't need anymore. Maybe I don't need to go out to dinner 4 nights a week or whatever it is. And so you're finding a way to kind of scale back, but there is this interplay between doing something with your home, doing something with your daily routine that results in better finances for you, that you're going to feel better about your finances, because this is Jupiter. Jupiter wants to expand, so it wants to grow your finances. And for Cancer and Cancer rising, so Jupiter is sitting in your 3rd house, so 3rd house of communication, siblings. This could be extended family, short distance travel. Saturn is in your 5th house and Pluto is in your 7th house. So what kind of plans are you creating that concern maybe children, maybe hobbies, maybe something like some sort of passion project, short-term relationships? What is it with the 7th house here? So kind of keeping along the same line, 7th house is your one-to-one relationships with other people. What is it that you want to change about your relationships? And these would be personal relationships, not you with a group of people. This would be you with somebody else one-on-one. What is it you want to change about your relationships that aligns more with your passions, that can result in some sort of communication? So this could be some sort of expansive communication. This could be maybe having that conversation of taking it from a 5th house to a 7th house type of relationship, where it's a short term, but you really want it to be a long term. You're ready to take it to that next level, and you're going to have those discussions. So this would be the type of energy that is highlighted here, and definitely your personal relationships, something here changing with communication. And for Leo and Leo rising, so Jupiter is in your 4th house of home, and Saturn would be in your 6th house, Pluto in your 8th. And so 6th house, we're talking about what kind of plans and strategies are you creating in your daily routines that are impacted by this 8th house energy. So is it that, I'm not seeing career necessarily, but it could be like if you work out of your home, are you modifying your daily routine? Were you promoted and you work out of your home? And so 8th house would be some sort of change in your money situation. So now you would be earning more money because you got a promotion. 6th house, you might be working more hours, or maybe different hours, something like that. So that would be some sort of change or goal or something with your 6th house energy that connects your 8th and your 6th. And then 4th house in Jupiter. And so maybe this results in you owning a bigger home, or maybe it's just that you work out of your home. And so maybe you do need a bigger home because now you work out of your home, and just being able to have that space just for your work. And so these things are highlighted here. So there's definitely some sort of connection with other people's money. So this would be earned income, your daily routine, and your home. And for Virgo and Virgo rising, and so Jupiter is in your 5th house of play, fun. This would be passion projects, hobbies, children, anything that you can think of that just kind of makes you smile. Saturn is sitting in your 7th house, and Pluto is in your 9th. And so Pluto here, what is it you need to change about maybe the way that you approach this type of relationship? And so let me get into that a little bit more. What kind of goals do you have when it comes to those one-to-one connections with other people? Are you looking for some sort of marriage partner? Are you looking for some sort of long-term commitment, that 7th house type of energy? And then from a 9th house standpoint, what is it that you need to change? Or maybe not like full-on change, but like modify in a way. So is there something about your belief system, maybe your moral compass, or something that is a 9th house energy? It's a Sagittarius type of energy. So what is it that needs to happen here in order for you to expand that 5th house energy, in order for you to maybe have the children that you want to have, or maybe expand on the type of relationship you might have with your children, or something? Because 7th house, 9th house, there's not a lot here when it comes to passion projects, although you can probably think of some hypotheticals where you're trying to create some sort of relationship with another person that also has some sort of expansion happening here, that something needs to grow here in order for maybe you to pursue your passion project. Maybe it's not. So a scenario here could be that you're in some sort of committed relationship and you're trying to make more time in order to be able to pursue your passion project. And so now you're coming up with some sort of plan with a significant other that gives you the opportunity to maybe go back to school, or to maybe go after exactly what you want from just some sort of expansion standpoint, so that you can pursue your passions and your hobbies. And for Libra and Libra rising, so Jupiter is in your 6th house. So this is your daily routines. Libra's in your 8th, and Pluto is in your 10th. And so what kind of plans are you coming up with related to maybe the type of work that you do? Is there something here with your job that needs to change in order for you to get more money, in order for maybe you've hit the top of your pay scale and maybe there's just no opportunity for advancement? This would be maybe changing jobs and getting that higher raise and that higher pay from another company. And this, because you would expand your money, would also result in some sort of growth here in your daily routines. And so would this give you the opportunity to spend more time at home? And maybe it's not that you're trying to expand your money, but maybe you are trying to expand your time at home. And so this would be, okay, let me take that step back and maybe not get that promotion, or maybe take like a step down in my role so that I am more available. So there's something here with your daily routines that is impacted by whatever changes you're making in your career sector. And for Scorpio and Scorpio rising, so Jupiter is in your 7th house, Saturn is in your 9th, and Pluto is in your 11th. And so what kind of changes do you need to make within your community that have you coming up with some sort of plan? And so 9th house energy, again, expansion, growth here. This is Jupiter energy. And so what is it about maybe higher education, philosophy, religion? What are all these things, and how does that relate to your community? What needs to change within your community in order for you to maybe find the type of relationship that you're looking for, or deepen the connection you have with another person? Because that ninth house Saturn energy indicates to me that maybe there needs to be some sort of change here in connection with your philosophy, or maybe the way that you view relationships, in order for you to get the type of personal relationships, that one-to-one relationship that you're looking for. And for Sagittarius and Sagittarius rising, so Jupiter is in your 8th house, we have Saturn in your 10th, and we have Pluto in your 12th house. And so with Jupiter in your 8th house, this could be other people's money, this could be a death and rebirth. So think of that new beginning that you're looking for. And this would be, okay, I want to take something and I want to take it to the next level. With Saturn in the 10th house, this is connected to your career. And so what kind of career goals have you set for yourself? Are they realistic? What needs to be modified here? Because with Pluto in the 12th house, this indicates to me that you're doing a lot of internal thinking about, okay, if I have this as my career goal, then my current behaviors, my current way of working isn't going to get me there. So do I need to modify? And that modification is going to lead to more money, because it's going to lead to that promotion, that 8th house energy, getting more money from your employer. And for Capricorn, Capricorn rising, so we have Jupiter in your 9th house, we have Saturn in your 11th, and Pluto in your 1st. Capricorn in your 9th. So Jupiter in your 9th house. So this would be expanding on all of those 9th house themes. So this would be education. This would be optimism. There's so much here. Education is the one that I'm really stuck on at the moment, because with the 11th house and the 1st house here, you're making some sort of plan within the community. So you're modifying something within yourself as it relates to the community that results in maybe more optimism, being able to see things big picture. And maybe that's just it. Maybe you've been sitting in this hanged man type of energy where you need to see things from a different perspective, because you're so into the details of it. You're so into maybe the daily drama, the daily weeds, that you're losing sight of all the things that matter the most to you. Because this here feels a lot like you're trying to modify something within yourself in order to have a better kind of community type life, maybe a better relationship with your friends and just that community at large. So this wouldn't be those interpersonal relationships where it's one-to-one. This would be with your friend group, or maybe some of your family, all of those things. And for Aquarius and Aquarius rising, so Jupiter is in your 10th house, we have Saturn in your 12th, and Pluto in your 2nd. And so from an internal standpoint, you're trying to change something about your money, the way, maybe it's the way you spend money, it's the way you save money. There's something here that you want to change. And with Saturn in the 12th house, it's more of like, whatever this change is, you need to stop doing. So do you spend to excess? And now this 12th house energy, Saturn energy is saying, you know what, in order for you to get what you want, you're going to have to cut back your spending. You're not going to be able to spend like you used to be able to spend in order for you to get exactly what you want. And what I see here is Jupiter in the 10th house. And so what are your career goals here? And how does that relate to your finances? Is there something here that, and maybe it's not you're cutting back spending, maybe it's you're cutting back on something, or you're doing something behind the scenes that results in some sort of additional career opportunity for you. And maybe that's your goal. Your goal is to expand your personal finances, but with your career and the way that you're approaching things, you do need to modify just kind of your behaviors there. With Pisces and Pisces rising, so Jupiter is in your 11th house. We have Saturn in your 1st, and we have Pluto in your 3rd. And so starting with Pluto in your 3rd house, so what kind of communication changes do you need to make? Saturn in your 1st, maybe it's the way you talk to yourself. Maybe it's the way you see yourself, you view yourself. It could be something here. It definitely feels connected to yourself as far as something here needs to change. You need to modify the way that you talk to yourself. And with Jupiter in the 11th house, maybe you have been a little standoffish in your community. And this is kind of that, okay, in order for me to be in good standing with everybody that I love and all of those like friends and the support group and all those people around me, I need to change my attitude. I need to change the way that I approach a situation. I need to not fly off the handle or respond in a negative way when people are just trying to help me. And so there's something here about changing the way that you talk to people. Maybe you're very blunt. Maybe you have strong Sagittarius or strong fires in your chart, and you are a very blunt person, and now you're trying to kind of temper that back to be more tactful in your communications with other people so that you can have that better community kind of environment that you're looking for. And so this is the reading for Jupiter stationing direct in the sign of Taurus, and pretty soon I'm going to publish all of those videos for January. So Happy New Year. I will see you in the new year. And if this resonates, please like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you next time. Take care.